Hello. Bear with me. I'm just getting invites sent out real quickly. Thank you for the heart me. Appreciate you. Hey, Amy. Happy Sunday, everybody. The lighting in here is incredibly horrible, so I'm so sorry. I have my ring light, but it's not, if I put it too close to my face, then I can't see nothing. So sorry, y'all. It's the joys of getting old, right? Anyway, I hope that you're all doing well. Today is Sunday Paranormal Discussion panel. So what that includes is you're more than welcome to share any paranormal stories, any experiences. If you're a paranormal investigator, you're more than welcome to come up and also share about your team or you, the type of equipment you use, the type of evidence you may have captured. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate you, honey. I'm doing a little bit better today. I've been on the allergy medicine, not quite a week, but a few days. So it is a little better. It's getting better. Thank you for asking. Appreciate you. So with that being said, thank you, Amy. With that being said, I'm just going to invite whoever would like to come up. There are going to be a few rules where that's concerned, and that is that we are going to be as respectful as we can be towards others. If you do come up into the panel box, please mute your microphone until it is your turn to talk, or if you have a question. And the one thing that I am going to say about the paranormal world is that there's a lot of opinions, a lot of experiences, and a lot of people that have abilities. And so not everyone's experience is going to be the same. Now, if you disagree with someone, A-okay. It's okay to disagree, but I do appreciate that you would please respect that person. You're more than welcome to give your point of view, but let's agree to disagree and not go into a fighting match of any kind, because that will not be tolerated here whatsoever. Hey, Val, and hi, Lance. I am good. Much love to you today. I hope you're good, Lons. Hang on here. Tori. Oh, thank you, Julie. You're so sweet. You're always the sweetest. You really are. Hey, Bree, welcome in. So anyway, I am going to offer up people to come up, and anybody who is a paranormal investigator, if anybody would like to ask questions like regarding equipment, regarding your style of investigation, or, you know, what your scariest experiences are, or the ones that have changed you the most, feel free to come up and do that. Thanks, Val. Appreciate you. The other thing is, if you do have questions about your abilities, I will do my best to answer those questions, the best of my knowledge. I am not all-knowing. I am very much human like the rest of y'all. And so if there are certain things that I don't know, I would try to look for someone else to get that information and get you guys connected. And or we could, you know, potentially ask spirit guides and spirits at a later date. So I do go live again next Tuesday, and that's when we'll do spirit communication. For tonight, the only thing that I got going on right now are these two cat balls. So if spirit does want to chime in, they're more than welcome to. They haven't yet. It's so weird. They really have not done that on Sundays. So I don't know if they're just letting us do our thing. So I don't know. But on Sundays, they haven't done that yet. Okay, wait a minute. Brandon, can you rephrase that for me, sweetheart, so I understand what you're talking about? I'm sorry. And that was a great investigation the other night, Tori, by the way. That was actually interesting. I hope that the rest of the investigation went well. I ended up having to get off there, so. Hey, Matt, welcome in. Yeah, you're welcome. And the other thing is that I see some amazing creators in here, y'all. If you are a paranormal investigator or a tarot reader, and you do that here, either here on TikTok or another platform, feel free to put a ghost in the chat. And that way people can follow you that are interested, and they can go check out your content. I really believe in I don't care what anybody says. This is my belief, and I'm going to spread it. And that is para-unity. Unity in general, right? Because we all need to unify as a whole, right? But para-unity is very important to me. And I want to support and build others up just as much as I know that they will do the same for me. So I see Haunted Sleeper Mortuary put a ghosty in her chat there. Please give her a follow. She also has a location that there's been enough investigations now. I can say I feel it's haunted. And you can go to her bio and check out the calendar and see if there's any bookings that you can make and go and do your investigation there. Very decent prices. And so far what I've seen is some pretty darn good evidence that people have been able to unveil since they've been going there. So do follow her for sure and go check that out. We also have Amy in here. Amy, where you at? Can you say something, sweetheart? You're welcome, sweetheart. I have a plan on coming there soon. Just right now I have to deal with some certain things, but I will definitely, that's definitely on my bucket list for sure. She is located in Kansas if anybody is interested. She's in the middle, y'all. So we can come from either side of the country, right? Or up, you know, whatever. Meet her halfway. You're hiding. There's Amy Wolf. She's another paranormal investigator. Oh no, a gas station. Hey, Thunderchild, welcome in. But anyway, so that's that. So if anybody that would like to come up in a panel, whether you be a paranormal investigator, oh, Tori, thank you. A paranormal investigator or someone who has any advice for people who would like to get into paranormal investigation, right? Or criminal. I mean, it's pretty legit. I mean, the evidence so far. And then, Tori, do you want to tell them about the coffin that you have recently acquired? You can do it in chat. You don't have to come up into the panel if you can't, because I know you might be working right now. But yeah, I want her to be able to tell you about this amazing coffin, and there's already been evidence since she's okay. Perfect. Hey Taz, welcome in, Debs. Hello everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. You live in Kansas? Jess, you gotta hook up with somebody and go in there, girl. It is, I mean, it's seriously on my list. I very much want to go there. And not just investigate, but Tori's amazing, guys. She's a sweetheart. Hey, Harley. Hi, my friend. I didn't see you sneak in. I see Storm Chaser. Hello. Bree, you needed some sleep. Okay, hang on. Bree, can you pin Tori's up at the top? Indian female. Okay. Oh no, Val. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, someone's trying to invite me. I forgot to turn off the invites as far as like co-hosting. Okay, not that one. The one before that, silly. All right. Let's see. She was used as a prop in plays and ceremonies. Yay. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. That's the one. Thank you, sweetheart. All right. So she has a mid to late 1800s Oddfellows casket, right? And she says it was once contained the remains of a 14-year-old American Indian girl. Okay. Now, in that, right, she says that it's unknown how long she was in the casket, but she was used as a prop in plays and ceremonies. That's so weird about the play stuff. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. She was removed from the casket in the 1990s and buried in Guthrie Center, Iowa. Okay. Wow. And the reason why I'm wanting her to really explain this to you all, guys, I mean, she didn't even have the darn thing for 24 hours and she was already getting evidence. Was it 24 hours? I mean, it was real fast. Hey, Mike, welcome in, my friend. It was super, super duper fast. I do think she has it on her page. I don't want to give too much of her information out, but y'all need to go over and check that out. It's really interesting. How you doing? How you doing? Okay. I caught the singing on the security camera 30 minutes. It was 30 minutes? I did not realize it was that soon. See, that's crazy. So there was like singing, like humming singings of some type that she caught on her camera after she got the casket, right? Do you have that posted on your page still? Because it was pretty interesting. And by the way, she does also have a YT channel that sometimes she'll just set up cameras and leave. And there's been some evidence in those as well. Okay, awesome. It's pinned. She says it's pinned at the top. Y'all really got to go check this out. After you see some of the things she posts, you know, you guys are going to be like, bucket list. Let's go check out this calendar. Thank you so much for pinning all of Tori's comments for me. Just makes it a little bit easier for me to read it. But yes, super, super, super cool place. She's a new owner to this place. And I'm so proud of her because that's like a big thing, guys. I don't think you realize how much that takes for a person to do that. And when she's on something, she's on something. She means business. I love her to death. And not only that, she's a wonderful person, guys. Very wonderful person. Big heart, loving person. So anyway, I just wanted to shout that out and give you guys the knowledge of that because this is a new place that you can definitely do. Thanks, sweetheart. And it's always exciting when we get new places to investigate, but I think it's even more exciting when it's someone that we know is a genuine person and they're not out to, you know what I mean? So I know that the evidence that we get there at her place at least is legit and you can debunk yourself. She doesn't even, like, she's very, very good at what she does. And she's been doing paranormal investigations for a long time herself. Ariel, my scariest experience of the paranormal, I have a couple, but I generally just kind of ignore the scary stuff, but I do have a couple. I will give you, let's see, let's think about one. So there is one, where my friend and I, were playing with an Ouija board and I know this is going to sound like, ooh, like Ouija boards have everything to do with what you get. The outcome is usually intent. It's not something that I even bother with, but I'm not condemning anybody who does. So I want to make that perfectly clear. But it's just not my cup of tea after these experiences. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll do something else. So anyways, we were up at my house and we were doing an Ouija board session. And my friend, she just loves Ouija boards. And so but she won't do it at her own house. Oh, Tori, thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, honey. Appreciate you. So she won't do it at her house. So she brought it to my house and me being the goofball I am, I'm like, oh, sure, whatever. Come on over. And we started doing it. And my father at that time was passed away. And so we thought, hey, let's call Carly's father in. And we did not get Carly's father. So we ended up getting someone who claimed that they were, and this is a name, by the way, that still comes up on my spirit box from time to time. And so I'm not going to repeat the name just because I don't want it to be like an invitation. So anyway, this particular person who gave us the name was being very mean towards my friend and very overly protective towards me. And what had happened was all of a sudden I had a wood stove and all of a sudden it just went whoosh. Well, that's all it took for her. She was done. So no big deal, right? So, okay, Brie, thank you. So she left or whatever. And then a few weeks later, she decided at her home with her niece, she was going to go ahead and do that. And so apparently the same spirit had came through to her and her niece, and there was a whole bunch of stuff going on in the house that was like aggressive. And so she got scared. And so, being the wonderful friend she is, she sent that thing to my home. And she said, go to Carly's house. Well, it was really odd because I just so happened to be laying on the couch in the darkness. I was debating on going, because my room was in the very back of the house. I was debating on going to bed. And so I was just laying there, and I just remember all of a sudden noticing a change in the energy. And from my room, coming down a very long hallway to the living room, I seen a light going up and down down the hallway. And then it turned back around and went back to the room. And then the next thing you know, I see a bigger light. But this time it's not like an orb, which is what it was like in the beginning. But now it's more like lights just doing almost, I don't know, like a dance room light. But at first I thought, oh, it's my neighbor. It's his headlights. This is 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way. So I look out the window, and my neighbor's not home. And I live out in the country at that time. And so there was no other cars other than neighbors that would be coming and going. And the other ones that were there, their cars were already parked and they were in bed. And so at that point, I kind of was like, oh, that was weird. And then down the hallway, I heard boom, boom, boom. And it sounded literally like someone was walking down the hallway doing this the whole way down the hallway. Well, I do have abilities. And so I was able to see this person as they were doing it. Now, there are some days where I wish I didn't have that ability. That would have been one of those days, because it really creeped me out, because he was a really tall man and he was just banging the whole way down. And I just instantly knew that my friend had done that. And next thing you know, my phone rings, bling, bling, and it's her. She goes, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. This is what happened. And I sent them to your house. And I said, yeah, I know, because this is all that's happened. And so I told her everything that was happened. And I made that girl stay on the phone with me until I felt safe. And I told her to take back, when I put that thing on speakerphone, you take back whatever you said. And then it calmed down. There was no more. And I told her, you ever do that again to me without at least asking me first, I'm gonna throttle you, girl. So anyways, that was a scary situation for me. And the reason why it was scary for me is because I wasn't doing anything. She had sent it to my house, and I'm calling it because I don't want to give it too much attention. And then, and then I could see it. So I think that was pretty scary for me. And I was in my early 20s. Although I have had this experiences and abilities my entire life, at a 20s mind. Hey, Jay, welcome in, honey. So that was one significant one. I have a few others, but I can keep them for later. Is there anybody else that would like to come up in a box and share their experiences? Hi, Julie. How are you, honey? So I'm going to repeat this one more time. If you're a tarot reader, if you are I'm even cool with a legitimate, ethical, evidence-based medium, or a paranormal investigator, please put a ghost in the chat so people know that you do those types of things, and they can come check out and see your work and see how you investigate and or do your reads. And then that way they can come check you out. I'm glad you're all right. I'm okay. I'm doing a little better, I think. I don't want to jinx myself. I mean, you don't necessarily have to. You can always just type in the account if you want, and they can search it up in the search bar. It's up to you, whatever you want to do, Kate. Yep, Soul Sisters is one, guys. And see those little fairies she has there? She's not joking. She has, her and her sister, they have fairies, and she's caught them on camera. I know that sounds wild and crazy, but you have to go check out her stuff. It truly, truly, truly is amazing. Oh, girl, every time I see your videos, I'm in awe. I'm just like, what is this? And I'm like, wait a minute, rewind, and then rewatch it. It's amazing. I love it, love it, love it. And it's like there's no bounds anymore, girl. It just keeps happening and happening. It's something new every time. Hey, cat lover, thank you so much for the heart. May appreciate you. And the bracelet. You're amazing. Thank you. It is amazing, Tori. And here's the thing, right? Like when you first see, if you watch all of them, because she's got several, but when you first see it, at first you're like, well, maybe that's a moth. But then you see these long, dangly things that moths don't have. And then you see the shape of the front, and it's like, that's too big to be a moth. And they wouldn't look that color in the camera. So it's pretty cool. You're definitely going to have to go check that out. Plus, she's awesome with her editing. Wish I was half as talented as her in that area. Thank you for the follow, Tina. Appreciate you. Right. That's cool. Super, super cool. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, I don't know. When you first showed me those, I was like, what in the heck? That is amazing. And clearly they feel comfortable around you. I was actually wanting to do a little fairy garden about a year ago, but I never did it. I don't know. I have too many shiny things that I would be the one to lose them, not them anyways. Do I do ghost apps? Julie, good question. Now, that's a very controversial thing in the paranormal world. There are some that feel like the apps are not reliable enough, and then there's some who feel like, yeah, they are. Well, I'm kind of an in-betweener. And what I mean by that is I don't feel that they all are, but I do know for a fact that spirits can manipulate and communicate through anything that they so choose, especially electronic-wise, right? And so with me, what I choose to do is there are a few select ones that I do, I kind of vet them a little bit. And how I do that is I run them in conjunction with my SB7 spirit box. And if I can get correlating answers between the apps and the spirit box, then I consider that app legitimate if it's more than one time. So over time. So the ones that I have found so far that I've used that have been fairly legitimate are the Transcend Theory, Ghost Tube Vox, what's the other one? Necrometer, and then the Hope Ghost Spirit Box. And those are the ones, and Paravox 3. Those are the ones that have given me the most information. A lot of people like Spirit Talker, and I used to use Spirit Talker a lot, but there was a person that came into my, Mama, how are you, sweetheart? Mama Ghost. Here's another, can you type something with a ghost in it, Mama Ghost Lorraine, for us, so people can follow you, sweetheart, for your paranormal content and amazing knowledge. I hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Happy Sunday, aka Monday now. But anyways, there are some, because I'm mainly I kind of went away from the Spirit Talker because my friend said, well, if you put a magnet, you'll see that it does stuff. And I'll be darned if it didn't do that for me. So I kind of shied away from it. Now, Spirit Talker, they could manipulate it if they wanted to, for sure, and give you some accurate answers. But I think with that one, I'm just a little bit more, it's dependent on what it gives you. Thank you, Jay. You're a sweetheart. Thank you, sweetheart. So anyways, so yes, I feel like there are some legitimate apps for sure. And then there are some I'm not sold on yet. Hey, Shorty, how are you, sweetheart? Yeah, so Transcend Theory, Ghost Tube Vox, Necrometer, Paravox 3, and then the Hope Spirit Box. Mm-hmm. Hope Spirit Box is only available, unfortunately, on Apple. And thank goodness my daughter is an Apple user and she has 1 million Apple phones because I do not use Apple. And so she donated an Apple phone so we can use that app. Pardon me. I still need to get the SBI from Sean Austin to try that one out. I have not tried that out. I don't know if anybody in here has. Ghost Tube, yeah. Me too, Jay. Me too. And at first, Transcend Theory was a little odd, right? Because it just sounded like gibberish to me for the longest time. But then I started meditating before I used it. And I do that now with every live anyways. And then I started meditating, and now actual good words, sentences actually at this point are coming out of it. Whereas before it was like, what is this? Right, Kate. And that's what I like about the transcend theory. Paravox 4 now has, so the Paravox 4 that's coming out has more AI features to it. I don't think it needs Wi-Fi, but I did talk to the person who actually created that app through another creator's live, because he was a guest on there. I cannot remember if that one needs Wi-Fi, but Transcend Theory does not. It does not need Wi-Fi. You can turn it on airplane mode. No worries there. And there's no word database. It's actually letters that they can form and spill into words. What do you mean, who's on the good side? I don't know what your question is. I'm building an AI tool for us. Ooh, are you, Jay? I did not know that. I did not know that. And sorry, guys, I'm using my flimsy tripod tonight, so bear with me if it starts swinging like crazy. Are you just now starting to just kind of get it together, Jay? Or is it in development? Is there like a potential date that it might be available? You'll be able to drop it in footage and it will go through and kick back things that... Ooh, I like that. There is another one that Memphis Ghost Hunter told me about. That's an app that it's sort of like that, but not quite the same. Oh yeah, I love Transcend Theory so much. Anyway, that you can, like, for your lives here, if you download them into that app, it will do the same thing, pick out the things that stand out the most. But I would totally buy yours instead, because I know you. Trust you a little bit more. A lot more. Hey, Jonette, welcome in. How are you, sweetheart? The Witch of the Woodfin. Hello. Hi, my sweet. How are you? I love you too. Okay, so I need some people in my panel who wants to come up and chit chat paranormal. Can someone learn to be a medium? Absolutely, 100%. Let me tell you why. Every single one of us in this chat room who has been born into this world has abilities. Now, not everyone has the same one that is the strongest in the beginning. Sometimes we have to practice and hone in on those gifts. We have to open up. We have to go through shadow work and healing and get our way to places. But absolutely everyone has abilities. I do not call them gifts, although they are a blessing sometimes to have. They are abilities because everybody has them. It's no different than, say, someone who's in the choir, and there's someone who can really sing really well, and the other person has to work on it a little bit harder, right? Because this comes natural to this person, and this person's good at it. They have a great voice, but they just need to work a little harder to get there. Same with abilities. It's anything that you learn. There are going to be some people who Shorty, got to exercise those muscles. And so with that being said, anybody can learn how to be a medium, but you need to find the correct mentor. You need to go make sure that you know the correct ethics. And anybody that you read for definitely has to leave you feeling better than what they came. The other thing is, just because you can be a medium doesn't mean that that's going to be your calling per se, but it is something that we can all do. Hello, my girl, daughter of Satan. Hi, sweetheart. I seen you tip in. Yes, Mama Lorraine. Let's pin that if I can. I don't know if I can pin that Hang on, it's being silly. Can someone pin Mama Ghost Lorraine's comment right there? She's absolutely correct. How are you, sweetheart? Right. You need to have someone who can help you hone in on them. Tori says you have to really want it because it can be scary at times. And let's be real, guys. And I'm going to be 100% totally real with you. Okay. So I often, a lot of people say, well, how come we don't see a whole lot of scary things going on in your lives? I'll tell you why. Because I do a thing called active ignore. Okay. I don't pay attention to that. Because the more attention I give, the more it's gonna come towards me, right? So the truth of the reason is, yes, good and evil exist everywhere, right? Because without darkness, there cannot be light, right? So it does exist. The likelihood of a demon, though, very low, very low. Sorry, Zach Bagans, I'm very sorry, but it's very low. But there are things that can happen that are not fun, right? And it doesn't always mean that just because it's not a fun experience and it seems scary, that it's anything evil. A lot of times it could just be a grumpy old man that wants you to go away. And his best way to make you go away is to look like an 8-foot tall ogre. And then you're going to go running out the house. And then, hey, he's got the house to himself again. You know what I mean? Right, Jay? So just so you know, not everything that appears to be darkness is actually darkness, although it does exist. So I'm not gonna lead you the wrong way here and say, oh, it's all rainbows and unicorns. It's not, but I choose to ignore those things. And I look at it as like, an insistent teenager that's constantly doing this in your ear. And you've already said, this is what's going to happen. And unfortunately, they just keep going at you, trying to badger you to get what they want. And so what you have to do at that point is say, I've already told you no, and I'm not going to answer any more questions on that subject. If you have any other questions, please come back and talk to me. That type of mentality, even with spirits, works because they get bored, right? And they're like, well, she's not giving me my reaction I need. That's right, Mama Lorraine. If you give it what it wants, it will definitely feed off of it. And that's emotions is another thing. So this is the one thing that I do want to talk about, people who were asking about being a medium. Julie. Yeah. You have to be in a good space, right? Because your emotions, your mental well-being, if there's a lot of chaos going around, if you're in a really hard relationship that's creating a lot of chaos, sometimes it's hard to really hone in onto those things when you're having a lot of high emotional things, right? And so when we're just everything's, and believe me, I'm a person that's in a lot of chaos. Like I live a life full of chaos. I do a lot of meditation and I do a lot of grounding in order to be able to do what I do. And if I'm not in a good space to give a reading, I will not. And I will tell you all, I'm not giving readings because I'm not in a good space. Jay, you cracked me up. But yeah, so you got to make sure that you're in a good space and you do that shadow work, because things that are going to create high emotions can make it hard to hone in on your abilities. But it also, for those dark things, they feed off of high emotions. They can high happiness, low sadness, chaotic, all these things. Like, for example, I was in a very, very bad relationship. Okay. Very abusive with a narcissistic, absolutely diagnosed narcissistic sociopath. Okay. And it was very chaotic for me. It was the worst time of my life. And I normally are not able, I don't usually give people like that any attention, but for whatever reason, this was a life lesson and I went through it. And when things were so erratic and so crazy, our cupboards and the countertops, you would hear banging and the cupboards doing this, shaking and banging. So I created that, guys, because I have abilities, and it basically created like a poltergeist situation. But it was controllable. Like I knew, because I knew I was doing that, I brought myself back down. And then I was able to make that situation better. And I also, started filling out divorce papers, and that really definitely made it better. But hey, Carrie Lou, thank you, sweetheart. Yes, PK manifestation. So I created that. It wasn't because there was like this woo. A lot of times those things can be created by people who have abilities or in a very chaotic state. That's why grounding. And if anybody doesn't know what grounding is, I'll be more than happy to help you out that. I'm right with you there, Matt. It's been a crazy year. Grounding is important, meditation. And let me tell you, meditation is hard for a lot of people, including myself. I find my mind wandering. And I kind of talked about this the other day. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Oh, my mind wandered. Great. So all I'm going to think is my mind wandered. I'm going to acknowledge it wandered. I'm not going to feel shame that it wandered. And I'm going to bring my thoughts back to the meditation. And I'm going to do that through either breathing, or I'm going to do that through my own self-talk. So meditation, if you often find yourself falling asleep during meditation as well, that's great, because you know what happened? You were able to bring yourself down and calm yourself into that state to where you're falling asleep. And when we're asleep, we still retain knowledge, believe it or not. Yeah. And there's guided meditations. There's certainly guided ones that I think are really good. And I did tell Shorty this. Those who are trying to hone in on their mediumistic abilities, there is a meditation called Sitting in the Power. It's available for free on YouTube. And that is one to help you to kind of raise your light and your vibration to be able to speak with the spirits and get the information from the spirits a little more. So I do highly recommend sitting in the power. Violet flame meditation. Yep. Breathing techniques do. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm having asthma issues. I'm getting better, but it's not there yet. So the breathing, I think I agree with you on that. And I'm asthmatic. So like if I breathe too deep or whatever, I'll start coughing all over the place. But if you learn to breathe and not, I think we just hyper focus on everything being perfect sometimes. So we just need to let our minds rest and just trust the process and go with it. Oh, you're asthmatic too? Yeah, it's a fun time, isn't it? Mama Lorraine, you're such a sweetie. Yeah, Daydreamer, I was curious about that too. Carrie Lou. All right. Is there anybody who would like to come up and discuss some things, or do you have any other questions? I mean, if you don't want to come up, I don't want to force you to. That's fine. I can answer questions as best as I can. Also, for those that are, for those of you that are subs, I actually added new stickers for y'all to use. I finally did it. I have more to add, but those are the ones that are there for now. So for the subs, you have stickers you can use in chat now. Twisted Chakra. Hello, my friend. Yes, Bree. Those are it. Those are it. So we got new stickers. We'll get some more added in. I made all those, guys, myself. Proud of myself. Took me a minute. But I'll do more. And if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. And I'll try to comply with it as long as it doesn't involve another person. Thank you. You're such a sweetheart. I appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, that's the Estes one. So like on Fridays, we haven't done Estes in a while, you guys. I don't know what I'm the issue. I think it's because I can't talk for a long time. So now we have one that we can be like, Estes. Yeah, I want to hear your funny story. Come up. If you want to come up in a box. That's the only one you see? What? Does everybody else have more than one? Wait, I think they did. I think I seen a bunch of them. Ooh, what's that, Jay? That's a rising key. That's the first time I've seen that. That's amazing. Thank you. It's like, ooh, a new one.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Um, okay, so uh, this is really funny.
Okay.
Spirit seems to
Uh-oh, we lost
tension
you.
in the bathroom of all places, and this isn't gross. Don't worry. I'm
Oh,
just
you
like,
cut out for a minute.
for
Can you start
example.
over again?
Okay, let's see. Is that
Sorry,
better?
honey, you cut out. I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's better now. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, Anyways, a couple months back, you know how when, well, I don't know if everybody has this, but I've got a holder for my toothbrushes, right?
Right.
And sometimes the toothpaste will like, you know, go down the side of it or, get on the counter or what have you, right? And I went in to do my hair one day a couple months ago, and I had to take a picture because I was so blown away. I'll have to send it to you. There's a picture of a man's face in the toothpaste that had run down the side of the toothpaste holder and went on the counter. So I just thought that that was going to be, like just one of those random off things, right?
Yeah.
So then the other day, I'm in there again and I'm just kind of looking around and I look down and we have like a, little pile of clothes or some, when we go to get in the shower or whatever, that's where we put our clothes. And and I look over and there's this huge smiley face in my husband's underwear. And I was like, oh my God. I had to take a picture of that too because I was just blown away. I was like, really? You guys are crazy. Like, they have been messing with me like nobody's business. I see things in the rug. I mean, it's wild where I keep seeing these faces, and I don't know if they are like, um, like the one picture, the first one that I got with the toothpaste. It's a very distinct picture of a man. I mean, it's the features are so defined, the forehead and the nose and all that. He almost looked indigenous to me. So I was like, gosh, are they, is it someone specific that's trying to show themselves to me? Or is it just spirit saying, hey, we're here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Alejandro, to be honest, but he did
No.
look Native American. But Alejandro is a Mexican name, right? So he could be like Aztec
Yes,
Mexican nature because honestly,
that's right. I forgot about that.
we're all indigenous. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but that's hilarious.
Isn't that funny?
That
There
is
was
funny.
there was one I didn't get a picture of because it literally
Um,
just kind of baffled me. There was like two pieces of like pine off of a tree that happened to be, it must have come in off of our shoes or something, right? And I have these rugs in the bathroom and they have like these little, they almost look like little puff balls, if you will. I don't know how to explain it, but I looked over and it looked like where the pine needles were, it looked like eyelashes. And then there was like this thing that made it look, the puffs made it look like there was a headband with flowers on it.
oh
I know
wow.
this sounds absolutely nuts, but I have to keep taking pictures because I'm like, no one's going to believe me when I tell them these stories.
So you know what's funny about that? There is actually a word for that when you're finding faces everywhere, but that doesn't mean that they're actually spirit. You're just it's our brains are technically wired to see faces and things. But I'm not saying that's what it is because I'm going to tell you in my beginning time, right? That happened too. And Great Bear, who is my Native American main guide, when I was going through a divorce, how I knew he was there is he was part of the wood panel of the wall. And he's just standing there like, hey. And
Right?
I was like, okay, well, thanks for being here. I don't feel as nervous now, but what the heck are you doing in the wall?
I know, right?
But he like
I
he even looked like the actual panel, but you could see the outline of
Wow.
him
Yeah.
and you could see his
Yeah.
eyes. And that's
Yep.
what he showed me.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've been seeing faces in the trees too, because excuse me, my backyard or my um, back deck actually runs
Mhm.
along like a green belt, and so there's just massive trees and greenery everywhere. And so, I sit out here and smoke, and I'll just be looking around, listening to the birds and whatever. And yeah, I see faces in the leaves and the trees all the time, but I haven't always seen that. It's been kind of
No, but that's because you're awakening, and there are such things as elementals that are in the trees, in the water, so on and so forth. So it
it's
doesn't
been a
surprise me.
beautiful experience for sure. I've been embracing it, but it's just funny to me. I'm just like, they have a real sense of humor.
They do. And you know what's so funny about it is we just think everything's so serious about it. But like even on the spirit box, they're constantly rousing me. They think it's hilarious to do. They'll even laugh. I mean, you've heard them do it.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, that's just I love it when you have a good personality to work with. So at least you know your guides are cool, right?
Yeah,
At least they're
right.
good ones. You pick the right ones.
Oh. Oh, I
So
can't believe you remembered the Alejandro. That was so wild. That was a wild story. Yeah, that was crazy. They
yeah,
just come.
he showed himself to me, and he did because he had longer hair, so he did appear Native American. But
Maybe I'm gonna
technically
figure out a
Mexico.
way to send you the picture of the face and see if you can pick anything up off of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you, the one with
I
the
don't-
toothpaste.
yeah. Do that, and I would be interested to see.
You don't need to see my husband's underwear.
No, no, no. Please not that one. I mean,
I know, right?
I think we can do just fine with the toothpaste.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I know. I
Okay.
was afraid to even tell the story, but I was like, oh, I just have to because it just cracks me up.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. No, I'm glad you came up and shared that. I mean, it's silly things like that. There's just silly things that you would the average person would go logical, right? And just be like, I'm losing my mind. But
Yes.
you're honing in because you know that you're working on this, right? Because you're
Yeah.
now being mentored.
Yeah.
You're now working on those abilities more so. And now all these things are appearing that didn't appear before, it seems.
Yeah.
And it will get more and more and more prominent and more. So you'll just notice that. What did you walk into, Pat? God only knows. You walked. Oh Lord.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well,
No,
thanks for letting me share that story.
no, thanks for coming up. I appreciate it. It gave us
I'll have to
a good
figure out how
chuckle.
to. I don't think I can send it through the
I don't know what.
DM.
No, you can't. What I don't know what you have. I do have like well, I'll DM you and tell you what I have, and then we can figure
Okay,
it out.
cool.
How about that?
All right, sounds good.
All right. Thanks, honey. Thanks for coming
All
up.
right. Yeah.
And I will let you go.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Oh gosh, I cut you off. I'm so sorry. She was like, "Yeah, I don't know." Ooh, there she went. It is a good laugh. They like to. They're going to have to rewrite. You know what, Jay? I think the more that, especially like with you and your sister and like Mama Lorraine, how she always goes on podcasts and spreads her knowledge and like all of us in general, the more that we share this evidence, because think about this about 10 years ago, yes, they were given us evidence, but I think that they're becoming very, very, very comfortable with using our equipment. To whereas before, you'd rarely get things on the equipment. Now it's like beep, 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 everywhere. And then now they're going above and beyond the equipment and they're finding other ways to communicate with us on top of that, right? So I feel like the more that the evidence comes out and the more that they feel comfortable to allow us to share that evidence, which in my case, I always ask permission before I go on any investigation, any live. And they give me the permission. So far, they haven't told me no. And I'll be a really sad girl when they do tell me no. But right now, they haven't. Why do they favor the restroom? I have to ask for privacy. I'll tell you why. Because a couple of reasons, right? And it depends on where you live, the history of the land. A lot of scenarios can come up here. But That's where the most of your water is. You have a bathtub, you have a toilet, you have a sink in there. You have, some people even have wash machines in there, right? So water is a conduit of energy. There's also a mirror in there, and 100% mirrors are portals. It doesn't mean you have to be afraid of your mirror. Okay. There's ways of cleansing them or whatever. And if they're in, they do prefer the bathroom areas, but, you have the right to set those boundaries when you're in there and tell them to leave. Now, you say you want your privacy, and that's great for you, and that's fine, but they're not thinking anything about it. Like, they're not judging you. They're not doing any of that. I do the same thing though. When I go in my restroom and I see one or sense one, I will say, okay, out. When this door's shut and I'm in here, you're not allowed in here. And that's what we do. Yep. In most vulnerable situations, they're in the bedroom, because that's when you finally are calm. You don't have the world chaos going. You're relaxed. Everything's quiet, and they can communicate with you better. Yeah, I know you're not scared. I wouldn't think you'd be scared, Jess. But yeah, yep. Phones are portals, believe it or not. I know people are like, what? But they really are. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to get a drink of water. You're petrified? Okay. That was a good pun there, Pat. Phones are big portals. Yep. For sure. Thank you all for the likes. Gosh, you guys are already at 44K. And it's just been me being the blabbling idiot here. Blah, 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 blah. And so I appreciate you doing that. People don't know this, but all of America is really haunted. Yes, I've heard that. I've only been there once, but I've heard that. A lot of people go there. Think about all the residual energy that's there too. Okay, hold on. Do you think that they communicate with my sleep, even though I set a boundary? So there's a difference, though. Lisa, let me tell you that. Hey, Sin. There's a difference. So spirits that are trying to come and get you to communicate and give messages are the ones that you are telling, don't bother me, I'm sleeping. But when you're in your dream state and you are sleeping, most of us, we travel, right? We can go look through the Akashic records. We can go talk to our higher self. We can talk to our guides while we're sleeping. So in all technicality, those things are happening while you're sleeping. You may not remember it, but they are happening. So you are technically communicating still, but your body's still getting the rest, right? It's not being interrupted. It's a little different. I know there's times where I dream and I know that I travel, and there's been times where I've kind of woken up to meet this person saying, and it was a male, and he said, it's time to go. And he said something really funny, but I can't remember what it was. And the last thing that I remember is us both laughing together and me coming back really quickly. So yes, they're still going to communicate with you while you're sleeping and give you the knowledge you need to know. If you think of it kind of like in the Matrix, like, you know how you put that plug in and they go to sleep and they're getting all those downloads? Kind of the same. Right. Spirits are with us everywhere. So sorry, guys. Everywhere. And think about how old this earth is and how long life has been here. Yep. Protection bubble. I make dream catchers, so I have dream catchers, and I bless them. You were still talking and laughing. Yeah, I've done that too. It's funny. It's hilarious. But yes, you're definitely communicating. That's your time to go over and get that debriefing. Sometimes you wake up so sore, you know you went somewhere, right? For sure. It's like, gosh, did I run a marathon? What happened? You're welcome. Spirit guides communicate more with people during sleep because they can't hear them. That's true. That is very true. I agree with that one. Absolutely. Did you? I bet you it's beautiful. What what type of did she make the ring out of like branches or did she make it how did she make it? I know I remember flying and I can actually when I'm sleeping I do fly. My son does it. I have this is true story guys. So when I was younger, hey Becca. Yeah, right? Matt, you definitely had a crazy year so far. So when I was a kid, I used to astral travel. And I remember flying down the stairs, hoovering over my mom, making sure she was asleep so I wouldn't get in trouble. And I would leave the house and go all over town. I could literally go where I wanted to go. My son does it. One night I was laying down and I heard something and I looked around and I didn't see nothing. And all of a sudden above me, I heard him say, "Hi, mommy." And it instantly, I knew what it was. I didn't really see him well, but I knew it was him. I knew it was his spirit. And I looked up and I said, "Hi, honey, you're supposed to be in bed sleeping." He goes, "Oh, sorry, mommy." And he flew off. That was last year, guys. Those kind of things are wild to me. But I heard him and he said my name and I woke up and I wasn't scared. I knew exactly what it was. And I told him to go back to bed and he went. So really cool things like that, guys, happen. And that happens to be my gifted son too, by the way. And when I say gifted, I mean autistic. To me, they are super minds. They have so many abilities, so much things they can do. While you're waking out, realizing I have done that too. And there's times where I've done it and I've come back, but it's like I'm just a little, my energy is a little off afterwards. So I have to do a lot of cleansing because it feels like my soul is like 2 inches away from my body, but it's kind of there like this. So I'll have to do things to kind of feel better. You looked at yourself sleeping and said no. You're like, heck to the no, and went back into your body. Yeah. Yeah. We have a cord, that we can come back to. Den boy, hello, big love, big love. I hope you're doing well. The gateway recording. Yep. And then play the games and puzzles. My son was in the gifted program too. I was in the gifted program. You know what they used to do? And I never really thought about that until I became an adult. But they used to do ESP practices with us in school, you guys. Because you had to guess what was on the card. And they only showed you the back of the card, not what they were looking at. And you had to guess what it is and see if it was right. And it was those ESP cards with the wiggle lines and all that. Yeah. So I think the government knows way more than we realize. You remember that, Becca? Yeah. That's crazy. Carrie Lee, you remember that? Yeah. Nuts. Decode messages. Answer your question about the class. Oh, okay. You remember too, Lisa? Yeah. I remember those cards very well. And then when I got older, I was watching YouTube videos and seeing that's what they were, was ESP cards. I was like, what? They used to do that in school. Chizimbop. You were going to ask that? We were on the same wavelength. Look at that. That's amazing. And the gray headphones. Yes. Man, it was wild back then. It's like, what were they doing? And why was it only, and I don't know if it was everyone, but it was usually certain kids that not all the kids got to do it. At least in my school, they didn't. Certain kids for you too, Lisa? Yeah. Same for you. Yeah. I wonder why. Kind of interesting. Yes, psychological test too, Carrie. You're right. Sorry, guys. I'm talking too much. There was 7 of you. Yeah, I think there was 6 of us. I think they knew. I think they still know. I feel like, and I don't want to get too much into the conspiracy theory things because I know it sounds wicked and wild, but I feel like there's a reason why they're doing this autism stuff right now with the government. Just saying. Because they monitor the families, yeah. You thought it was because you were a shit starter, girl. You know what I thought? I don't know why I thought I don't know. They always brought me in. So I was like, why am I being picked? I don't know, but I didn't have a filter when I was a kid. I would just say anything that came. So this is the problem. I would say anything that my mind would, and that's probably why we're taking her in. She's given too much information out. Your daughter told you to come and you reflect. Oh, that's awesome, Julie. Wow, they gave me a puzzle piece early this time. And of course I didn't do it right, so. What? Guys, if this ends because I can't seem to line it up. Oh, there we go. And see, I can do ESP cards, but I can't do a puzzle piece on TikTok Live. So that's how that goes. I was a class clown too, believe it or not. I like comedy stuff. Night, Matt. Thanks for coming in. Hope you have a good night and sleep well. My child is pardon me. Now, I'm not saying that blood types are the only way that you can be a gifted person, because they're not, clearly. But I do know that they definitely pay attention to a couple of them very well. You never get the puzzle piece. So you want to hear something funny? When I have it on this and my face isn't up there, I don't get it for like an hour and a half. But when my face is here, it gives it to me fast. It's like I'm sitting right in front of the camera. Why are you checking to see if I'm a real person? Same, Luke. Yep. RH negative factor blood types are usually the ones that they definitely pay really close attention to. Why? I don't know. I don't know those answers, but they definitely do. And I think it's AB. I can't remember what the other one is, but it's like either B or AB. RH negative does seem to be the most. AB negative, Lisa, yeah. RHAB, yep. I think those are the two. Is the RH negative, and then O. I'm an O negative, RH negative, so I'm both. And then the ABs are the other ones. Sorry, guys, I got a hair that's driving me crazy. So, you got shots when you were pregnant? Yeah, same here. The Rogam shots. It is kind of like O blood is gold, because what we can do is we can give our blood to anybody and everybody and save a life, but we can only receive O blood, right? We can't get everybody, but we can give to everybody. Yeah, that's interesting, Jess. That's real interesting. Hey, whacked out lady. How are you, sweetheart? Hey, Kisa. You guys are amazing. Thanks for coming in and joining me. I see you in there, Sancho, liking the live. Harley liking the live. Julie liking the live. Thank you all for the likes. I'm sure there's more that's liking, but those are the ones that it's showing. Yeah, Jay, I feel the same way sometimes. I don't know about I think a lot of us, especially the ones that are really into the paranormal and the spiritual side, we just feel like we're like there's a different home somewhere, right? We feel like this isn't actually home, out of place. I don't know what the word is that I'm trying to use. I don't know if anybody else can agree with that, but I don't feel like I'm home at all. I feel like I'm on a horrid vacation. I'm wondering how long did I book this? You know what I mean? So, yeah, crazy. Not of this world. Yeah. Yeah. Now, whether or not that means that we're from a different planet or if it's just because we come from the spiritual realm and we're here and that's the reason why we feel like that, who knows, you know? But a lifetime trip. It's the longest lifetime ever. Only the good die young, so I'm going to be here a while. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait a minute. Who goes after? No, the medical field. They really keep close tabs on O blood types and Rh negative factors. I hear you, Jess. I hear you. Have a good night, Mama Ghost Lorraine, and thanks for joining and giving us your knowledge. We appreciate. We love you. Everybody, give her a follow. She's so amazing. That's true, Jay. That's very true. Hey, Terry, welcome in. You know, as you sit there and you think about like all the things that you've gone through and how you feel about certain things, I call I tell my kids that they're spidey senses because my kids they have autism, so for them that's a lot easier for them to understand. So when I say spidey senses, I'm meaning like your intuition and your psychic ability. And it's really weird. Like if you really think about it, like if you think about memories, when we were kids and things happened, we were less stressed out about it when it happened than we are now as adults. It's really weird. We've kind of just like, whatever, let's go with it. And now as we got more older, our brains are so much more logical and we're not, it's just so crazy how we get more worried about it now than we ever did when we were kiddos. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, some wild stuff happened and it never even fazed me a bit. Very interesting. I love garlic too. Oh, I know who that is. Jess. I know exactly who you're talking about. There might be, well, I know who they could be. Like a reminder, yeah. Yes, Kitty, and unfortunately I do. I think a lot of us do, sadly. Pardon me. Thank you, Breland. Appreciate the follow. You were scared of them because your parents couldn't see them. So here's the irony. I wasn't scared of spirits, but I was scared of the fake boogeyman that my older siblings kept telling me was going to get me. That never did. But I was afraid of the dark. Ricardo! Did you get a new account? Yeah, I was super scared of the dark as a child. Now I can sit here in the dark. I can talk to spirits. I can have my back to the hallway. Like I remember I used to when I was like kind of getting to be teenagery. I would not allow a doorway to be at my back ever. Your brother did that to you too, Renee? Gosh, mine, it was not just my siblings, right? It was also my cousins, and they were relentless with it. Oh, it's your old account. Okay. All right. Well, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I think that's what it did. I was, you know, what's so funny is when I was a kid, I was totally into scary movies. Now as an adult, the only time I watch them is when my kids want to watch them. But yeah, The Howling, The Exorcist. Um, I don't know. I watched some pretty risque things when I was younger. Back then, they didn't really care what you watched. With your back to doors, Julie. Yeah. Oh no, you're in a hospital. Are you okay? I'm sorry, Ricardo. Well, Jay, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but we kind of talk to them on a regular basis, and now those ghost ones kind of seem silly to us, right? It's like, yeah, right, like that'll happen. You know what I mean? No, and you don't want to give them ideas. Right. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's funny. You okay? Anxiety issues? Well, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad you're where they can help bring those anxiety levels, help you bring those anxiety levels down. I know what it's like to have anxiety. I myself have anxiety, so I totally get that. Thinking of you, and I will send you healing vibes. You know, Jay, I'm convinced of that too. That's why, like, and maybe I'm a little paranoid, but that's why when I started explaining, like, certain things, I was kind of thinking in my head, don't give too much information because you're going to give them ideas. Pardon me, guys. I'm so sorry about the cough. Hey, Tess. How's your night going? Thanks, Becca. Are you getting ready to go to work, Becca? Hi, Judy. How are you? Hope you're well. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not really too worried about the gifts, but I'll be kind and do it for you. Thank you for asking. Set new goal. I really wish that for us paranormal folk, they would put like ghosty stuff in here besides just on Halloween time. You know what I mean? Let's go with these for now. Enjoying your night? That's awesome. Glad to hear that. You know, they used to have like a speaker that kind of looked like a portal box that I used to do all the time. I used to love giving that out to everybody. Shannon! Hi, sweetie. But I used to give that out every time someone was doing a spirit box session or whatever. Those were fun to have, the little speakers. And then they used to have ghosts, but they only do it. Like I noticed in other countries, they have it, but us here in America don't. Aw, Becca, that was sweet. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Kitty, for the heart me. Drinking some cerveza. Awesome. All right. Oh, wow. Look at you guys go. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all that. All right, Shorty. Thanks so much for coming in and sharing your funny story with us. We appreciate you. Hope you get good rest and have a wonderful week ahead. I am in Washington State. That's where I'm at. So tonight is just a paranormal discussion. But on Tuesday nights and Friday nights, I do paranormal content on lives. And every now and then I throw, and now that hey, Brooke, now that the weather is getting better, I'm going to be throwing in some surprise cemetery walks. Wait a minute, where's Jess? Wait a minute. What'd you say, Jess? Sorry. Or someone needs to unblock throat chakra by speaking their truth. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. We have quite a few historical. I like the historical ones personally. And the reason being is because I don't like to go to ones that have too recent of headstones on them, so that way family can get upset. So I prefer to go to the historical ones. Love, light, peace, and joy. Thanks so much for the heart me. Appreciate you. Hey, Faye. How are you, sweetie? I am hanging in there. How are you?
Did you put me on here?
I think you requested, and one of my mods thought you wanted to come up, so there you go.
I was like, oh, okay.
Well, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am hanging in there. I'm doing all right. Still got
Good. That's blessed.
the
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
I remember you had said when a spirit or your loved one wants to contact you, they'll make a way.
Yes, they will make a way.
Okay. Because I had someone had I went in someone's live, and I don't watch certain people, like the psychic ones, the psychic mediums, because some of them are fake.
Okay.
They say that they can sense, things, and they can't. Like you're amazing.
I appreciate it, but I know what you're saying. It's like,
Yes.
I
Okay.
get
So this lady, I won a free reading, and she was telling me about my brother and everything, because my brother had passed away, and it was just some things that she was just saying that were true. So it was just an amazing reading.
well, and that's the thing. If you can validate it and it felt amazing and it felt like, oh my gosh, this is too good to be true. How did I learn this? Now I'm getting actual validation. I would say that
Yeah.
probably need that
And
happen
I was
for
just like, wow, like things that I didn't think my brother. Well, so I knew my brother, what he did, and it was just how she was just coming up with it. So it was something. It was on Easter morning.
you. Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So it was just an amazing thing. I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, no, I think for sure you could validate it and it felt like it came from your brother and you won something and you don't normally go in there. That to me sounds like
Yeah.
divine intervention. You
Just
know what I mean?
I just happened to just watch this lady, and then I went a free reading, and it was just wow. I was just amazed.
I think that's great. And I'm glad that he made that happen for you because I know that that's something that you've been wanting to happen anyways. But,
Yeah.
you know, that's a
It
good
was just
book,
it was
right?
something it was just something beautiful. So
It is beautiful. And that's the thing. This is what I tell people. Like, being a medium, that isn't a gift. It's spirit giving the communication, that's the gift. You know what I mean?
yes.
Yeah.
And then that was the first thing I had told her. I goes like, I remember someone had said, if the spirit wants to communicate, they'll make a way.
Right. Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, your brother made this way.
Yeah, and it definitely sounds like it. And then too, Faye, that out of Easter time, actually, in that time, because we're going into the spring, right? We kind of got a little bit of a veil that's a little thinner too, and I think that that's really wonderful.
Well, the one thing about the Easter that was really tripped me out was, when my brother had passed away, when his daughter was with me at my house, it was around Easter, and she had put a little butterfly, and she put a little sign next to his ashes saying, I love you, Daddy. And everything calmed down, because I know he didn't want to cross over or pass away. He was fighting to survive, but he was just too weak, and she was telling me that my house is what caused my brother to be sick.
Was the actual house?
It was my apartment. She says that because I was fighting spirits in my house. She said that there were 2 demons inside my house, and she also said that that's what caused my brother to get an abscess in his mouth. And I was just like, wow. So,
So those things can affect us, like if there's some bad juju, but the likelihood, like for example, so it was an abscess of a tooth. Is that what it was?
he had abscess in his mouth. But he was also sick from kidney failure. And he had 2 holes in his heart.
Oh goodness! And all those things
So
happened before living in that house, though, except for the tooth.
he was living in the house, in my apartment, when the spirits were there. And she also said that because I was afraid of these spirits, even though I chased them out of my house. I was sleeping with my brother and his baby's mama and the baby. I was sleeping with them because I was so scared. These things wouldn't leave me alone, but they would not come near my brother.
Okay.
And she also said that, it's okay, you guys. She also said that the house is what caused my brother to get this abscess, and that's what started it.
Okay.
Because he got it after the fact that when he moved out, he got it after that.
So he moved out of the apartment and then got it.
Yes.
Well, I'm not gonna say that this person's right or wrong because it sounds like we've got some validation there, but I'm gonna say it does sound like you were afraid of this spirit. So that is feeding that energy, right? We're feeding that.
But I stood up to them. And chased them out because I had enough. I saw a black shadow standing above my niece, and something. The baby's mom, she came and told me, and I was sitting. Something told me to go home. This is what happened. I was at church. Something told me to go home. I left church service, and it wasn't even over yet. And I went and I stood in my kitchen, and the baby's mom, she came and told me, she goes, something was pushing her away from the baby in the hallway. So I grabbed my crucifix and my Bible, and I stood in the hallway, and I saw a black shadow move away from her, and her screamed bloody murder. And I said, oh, heck no. So I ran because my church was behind my apartments. So I ran to the back of the apartments, and I told my pastor, I go, I asked you guys for help. This is what's going on. This is what just happened. I need some help. And he goes, you know what? Put your hand through the fence. And I did, and he put an anointed oil, and he prayed. He says, you go home, chase these things out yourself. You stand up to them and you chase them out.
Yeah.
I felt like, and I was like, oh, I feel like He-Man, like, oh, I have the power, like, what am I going to do? So I went home and I did everything he said. By God's grace, I watched these things run out of my apartment.
Yeah. What Jay's soul sister said is true. Like the mind is a powerful thing. We can create things that think the light needed him. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Because I was just telling a story before you came in, actually, about the power of the mind and how I actually had a poltergeist, but I was the one who created that. It wasn't something that just came.
Yeah, it goes on your faith and your how strong you are
Yeah.
to stand up to these things. You know, God's right there with you, with your angels that are surrounded, but it depends on how long and how, not how long, but how strong your faith is.
Yeah.
If you believe in it, and you stand up to it, they have to go. They have to flee.
No, and you are in the power, right? But what I'm saying is, and I'm just going to give you based off of what I'm feeling. This is not a reading. I'm just going to give you based on what I'm feeling. The thing that would concern me is someone telling me that there's two demons there, because demons work a little differently than what you were telling me. Yes, they do some of that, but not. It's not usually how they work. And I have done some. I don't have a demonology certificate, but I have done studies.
Well, the thing is, the house started the oppression. I ended up taking 180 medications at once, and I woke up in jail.
Yeah.
Luckily, I woke up.
Yeah.
So this house was making me sick.
And I've been in a house to where everybody was sick in that house too. And it's just honestly for us though, it was the land and there was something going on there, and that's what was creating it. And then we knew about it, and so psychologically we were sort of manifesting it by our thoughts.
Manifesting, yeah. I get it. Yeah. And that's what my mind was messing with, the house and my mind. Well, the thing is, I went and got a priest before all this stuff started happening, and before my brother moved in, and he blessed the house. But what came out of the house were three spirits. It was a tall man with, he looked like a skeleton, and he had a cowboy hat on. And then there was a lady. She was so beautiful. But there was a lady, and there was a little kid.
Okay.
And when he blessed the house, these things came out. They stopped in a corner of in my living room, and the priest said, "You don't mess with them; they don't mess with you. We're doing the introduction." And I'm like, okay. I go, but they're not supposed to stay here.
Yeah, and it's your home. You get to decide if you want to go and have it, right?
Right? Yes. I didn't know that until I got stronger into the mind and everything, and I had enough. That was enough. And that's why I stood up to these things, because, I had to protect my brother's baby, and I had to protect my brother. As soon as the baby's mom moved in, the house flipped upside down, and the house was telling me,
would be.
I found some things in the house that was not supposed to be there, and that baby could have picked it up. I flushed it down the toilet.
So to me, I wonder. So a lot of times when a person has those type of habits, it's looked at as being they have demons. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't, but that's how it's looked upon. Because that's how sometimes when we're doing readings, dependent on the actual person and their experiences and how their thought processes is on how they look on it, that's how some people actually get when a person is on substances and stuff. They see demons. They see darkness. As for me,
the thing is, I was clean. I was clean. I was good. I was no depression. Everything. You have to be so good, like straight. So I was doing. As soon as that baby moved in, I was good.
Yeah.
No rugs, no nothing. No depression. I was happy. Everything, it was good, and that's how I had to face these things that were in the house.
Well, and you were the one who was afraid of them, so you're the one feeding them because your fear was feeding them, right? So you're the one who has to take control. You're the one who has to say, out. Now, that doesn't mean that you caused anything to happen to your brother, because I'm going to be honest, I don't 100% agree with that totally. That's my opinion. I'm not going to say that that person's wrong, but I don't agree that that's the entire cause. I do feel like there was a lot of depression going on. I do feel like there was a lot of chaos at that time. And I also feel like there was a whole lot of different dynamics going on at the same time that kind of made the the moods down
And you're
low.
right.
You
You're
know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like I do not want you to carry that guilt because I don't feel that that's completely the case. However, that doesn't mean that those experiences didn't happen for you guys. It doesn't mean that those weren't things that you were going through because I do validate what you're saying. And I know that you're not going to
Well,
make
the
that
amazing
choice.
thing
You
about
know what I
this,
mean?
all
But
this standing up to these things, but the amazing thing about this whole thing that happened was I stood up to my for my brother and the baby, because my brother, he wasn't a really of a church guy after he got sick, and
uh-huh,
he really hated God for giving him this sickness, and that's what he said. But I went to church and I said, God, he knows not what he says,
right.
right? So, but when my brother passed away, my brother came back.
Hmm.
He came back to me, and I knew I have a picture of him and everything. It was a blue orb, and I knew it was my brother. I felt it,
Yep.
and he came back, and he's like, came back to me, out of all people, just me, and it was amazing. It was just so beautiful to see that, and I knew it was him, and it was something so beautiful. So I was glad to do what I did and dealt with what I had to deal with for that, to get something like that. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, after these things left out of my house, I slept for like 7 days
Yeah, I
because
bet.
I was so at peace and left me alone, and I was just, oh, wonderful.
Not as scared anymore.
And
You could actually close your eyes and just sleep.
that
Yeah.
sleep and just be at peace. Yeah. I was like,
Mhm.
I ain't sleeping with you no more, brother. I can sleep in my home bed.
Yeah.
And, but it was just, it was an amazing to know that my brother did come back.
Yeah, that's
He
what I
came back.
agree. Since you were able to get them to go and whatever, if it was a true demon, it wouldn't have went so well just by you being affirmed. So I agree with Jay. She said that definitely wasn't the causing of him to pass them if you were able to
That's
see
what
them.
I feel too. I felt
Yeah.
that. It was, he got it. He fell in. See, my cousin had passed away, and we went to her funeral. And then my brother got some medications, which
Uh-huh.
is something to be calm with anxiety that
Right.
everybody was getting.
Uh-huh.
And he went and he locked himself in his room and just stood away from everybody. Fell in depression.
And isolated himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he got out, he went to the dialysis center, and they went into cardiac arrest.
Oh goodness. Okay.
So after that, we got called and saying that he was in the hospital. They rushed him to the hospital with cardiac arrest and everything. I mean, like, they called us and told us everything, and we got there. I got there quick. I
Uh-huh.
mean, so quick. I lived like 2 cities away, but I got there. That was my brother,
Yeah.
and they put him in he was in a coma. So
Like a medical induced coma.
he fell
Or
into a coma.
oh, he fell into the coma. Okay.
He fell into the coma. So then he couldn't breathe, so they put an oxygen, intubated him. But the weird thing is, the doctor had told us that they were going to take the machine out of him and give it to somebody else. We're like, wait, ain't it first come, first serve?
I think it depends on what he's been diagnosed with, and also depends on what if they've done all that they can do. So they can technically And it
So
also,
they, when as soon as they took that out, he died.
it also depends on insurance and what have you. So it just really depends on the circumstances. It could have been if they do a CT scan to check for brain waves or anything of that nature.
Yeah, I
So,
hear you.
so
You know, it was just everything didn't make sense at the time, and I'm sure it didn't make sense because it was so strong. Of we knew that he was gonna go.
right,
I mean, he was fighting. She said that he fought to stay, but and you could feel and you could see that he tried.
yeah,
He was even, you know, my older brother was talking to him and everything, and he was still in Pennsylvania though, but he was talking to him through the phone and
right,
everything, and it's just that wasn't enough.
right. And
It was time.
it could have just simply been that it was his time, and he chose to stay as long as he could until it was.
Yeah, she also said that my mom was there to greet him
Oh,
to the other
really?
side.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So that was something to hear about my mom.
Right?
Because ever since my mom passed away, nobody's heard anything, and she was the type of person to, oh wow, that would talk about a sailor's mouth.
It definitely wasn't a quiet type.
She was the outspoken one. My dad goes, no wonder where you get it from.
I am so sorry for your loss, sweetheart. I'm so sorry that you guys endured all that you endured. But just know, sweetie, that that has nothing to do with you, and that I feel like that wasn't necessarily the cause for him. But I'm so glad that your guys' mom was there to greet him when it was his time to transition. I have been in hospital rooms where people are passing, and I have literally seen spirits standing around their bed waiting to take.
I think that's what my brother was doing.
Yeah,
I was holding his hand,
yeah,
and I felt something near me, and I know it was just a vessel. And I know it was just a vessel. The vessel was empty,
yeah.
and he was already gone, and everything. So it's just, it was done. It was time. And I also prayed for him, and you know, because no one else goes to church and prays and is strong as faith as I got it, you know, and I prayed for him a Psalms 27 or Psalm 23. I'm not sure which one it was. I think it was 27. And I just prayed that for him, over him. And, you know, I told him we'll still be there. So the only ones that got his ashes are me and his daughter.
Oh, okay.
And the rest are up there with my mom in Rose Hills in California.
Yeah. Well, I'm a firm believer in prayer because I do believe in prayer. But I also want to make everybody know that if a person is upset with God before they pass because they have an illness, or if they feel that they were let down, or they're agnostic, or they're whatever, atheist, just because they pass on doesn't mean that they're not welcome with open arms. Because the thing that I want y'all to remember is that sometimes the perception that we get is that God is a not not an unconditional loving God, but God is a loving God, and He's not going to judge us based off of the fact that we're upset. Because even Jesus Himself on the cross said, "Why have you forsaken me?" Right, and He still went to heaven. So just remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sister. My sister. It's me and Gina, we all, every time we see each other, we go, sister. I love her. But yes, I hear what you're saying. And, you know, it was just the whole scenario was truly amazing to know that, you know, my brother was there to greet with my mom and her to take him on the other side. And at least somebody saw her. At least somebody was there with her and him, you know. And it was just, it gave me calm and peace to understand that. It's just this house, just knowing that this happened in the house, you know, it just sounded a little too much, but it sounded real, but a little too much.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I do believe you, and I
no,
trust on what
go
you're
with your
saying.
discernment. You go with your discernment. You're the one who knows your truth. You're the one who knows what feels right, and you're the one who knows what feels wrong. I'm just telling you out of my experience, demons work a little different.
I hear you. I
That's
hear
all.
you.
But I'm not saying that person's wrong because I really don't want to come across that way. I don't want you to feel guilty over something that I honestly, in my experience, it's a different situation. So that's all.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna get all depressed about it because
Yeah.
my depression has eased up a lot. I have a
Hey,
few
Jane.
people I have a few people to thank,
Uh,
and I feel better. I feel like I can smile. I feel like everything's better. Cause I suffer from severe depression, PTSD.
yeah. I have
I
CP.
almost died twice. Well, 4 times actually, but two I know I did. One I did die, and the other one I did end up in the hospital with congestive heart failure.
Yeah.
So I mean, flatlining off of it. So I'm here, and I'm thankful to be alive. I'm so thankful.
That might
Life is what it's supposed to be, and
exactly.
you know, cherish every moment as you can while you're here.
Validate and love those that are here with you now, so that way you don't have to come to a person like me to do that for you.
Exactly.
And the other thing is, and Jay said it, your brother God is a means. I believe wholeheartedly that even those that do things that aren't so good have the ability, if they so choose to, because they have free will just like we do, to
There's my girl right there,
work in the
Carrie.
opposite. Yeah, I love her too.
Yep.
Uh, so, anyways, he definitely crossed over. He's with your mama, so that's great. I'm so happy for you that they're together. I know that that might have been a worry for you too, especially with him saying the things
Yeah,
that.
it was. And you know what? It's just I was trying to find out because I talked to a few people that could see the other side or can see the spirits and understand. You know, tell me it's a medium or something. And I just was searching for that right answer.
Yeah.
And I know there wasn't going to be a right answer. I know there wasn't. And I needed that. I need to know that. I needed to know that closure for that too, so I can let it rest. So as soon as I got this reading, I was able to let it rest.
Yep. And it sounds like it was definitely something you needed to hear. So that's good. I'm glad. Um, Brooke, I read what you put. That might be my spirit guide because I do have, or it could be a relative too, for all I know. But how tall is tall? Like really tall? What does he look like?
Who? My brother?
No. Brooke said that the last few lives she's seen a very tall Native American man.
Oh,
Yeah, it could be Big Bear, honestly, Brooke. That is my spirit guide, who is also a great 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 grandfather of mine. But it could also be
yeah. I was
another.
gonna say, do you have Indian in you?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have Indian in our family. I'm not sure what kind we have. I think
uh,
it's a Cherokee,
hmm
but we do have some too. If you see my dad, he looks not to say anyway. He's a dark Mexican, but he looks black.
yeah.
He's really dark. So they go, I go, we don't see no resemblance. I go, how do you figure? If we look white like my mom and then my dad's black, and like they said, 1 out of 5 kids is gonna be dark. Nope, we're all white.
And that's crazy how that works too, because I actually have a blended family myself. My 3 youngest are their father is black, and I am kind of mixed. I'm Irish Cherokee, and I'm more of a
Uh-huh.
lighter skin tone. And all 3 kids who are full-blooded brother and sisters, all 3 of them have different skin tones. So it's like you would never know. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that they have the same facial features, you'd be like,
Yeah,
what's up here? So it's really weird how genetics work. But You
Yeah,
got
it's weird because my niece, my sister's daughter, my older sister's daughter, um her daughter looks really dark.
hmm
So out of all the kids, she's the one who got it. I was like, "Jeez." So I mean, my oldest son, he's got really dark hair though, but
Yeah.
I mean, the other ones, they're light, they look white. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's how weird how genetics work.
Yep, genetics
Exactly.
are a very strange thing. It's just like me. So I don't have any, and I don't do the step or the half, but I'm only explaining this because of genetics. But I'm all my brothers and sisters are what are considered half. So we have the same mother, different father, and then there's some that I have the same father, different mother. And I'm
Oh,
out of all of them, there's only two of us that actually look native. The rest have red hair. It's just really weird out. Very, very
how
like
weird it looks.
light
I
skin.
wish that would be the same with our family, but no, we got the same mom, same dad,
Yeah.
5 kids,
Yeah.
and my little brother was the baby.
Yeah. I'm the baby of
So
the family, and I'm the only one from my mom and my father.
I'm the middle. Guess where that falls in?
Yeah.
The one who gets it all.
That's where Brie is. She's a middle child. If she's still in here, she's a middle child too. But um, yeah,
We're good.
not very tall at all. I'm only 5'2", so I'm a shorty.
Yeah, I'm 5'6".
You're 5'6". Yeah.
You're short. You're 5'3",
I'm
five
5'2".
two.
Yep.
Oh,
And
jeez.
tall isn't in my language. I have a big personality and a short body. So
You're wonderful, though. You're very
aw,
beautiful
I appreciate you.
and you're very kind. So
I do appreciate you. I appreciate you coming up and sharing your story, though,
it
too.
was amazing. I don't even know how I got up here, but okay. Maybe it was way to come and talk about it
I think so.
because it was something that was actually kind of bothering me. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, and everybody for letting me come up and say something and hear my side of it. I'm very blessed, and I love all of you so much, and I'm thankful. Thank you.
No, you're welcome, honey. You are so welcome. Can we give Faith some hearts, guys? Because that is something that's highly emotional and something she really needed, and she's feeling better about it. She
Thank
actually
you.
getting closure. Let's give her some love. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye, sweetheart. Thanks for coming up. All right. Oh, Sir Patrick. Hello, Kelly. How are you, honey? Pat's turn. Thanks, guys, for giving her all those hearts. Appreciate you. Pat said, that was an accident. I'm out. Uh, oh, that's okay, whacked out lady. We appreciate you typing hearts. Hearts, it doesn't matter how you send them, right? As long as it's the intention. So that's the only thing there. So no worries. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. I did see a couple questions. Yeah, he was like, I'm out quick. He was on it. Um, your left ear itches. Oh no. Why is it itching? Okay, let's see.
I just want to further clarify for Jess for Amy and
Uh-huh.
make sure that she understood everything. She was asking me what postcards were. Yes, hi Pat. So, postcards are whenever you are in chat and somebody else is talking to their past loved ones, and somebody in chat feels like it's their loved ones. It's very, very similar. It sounds like they're talking to your loved past one. All right, Carly?
Yes. So a postcard, when someone says take a postcard, exactly what you're saying. So, like, for example, if I was to be giving Annika Bell right now a reading and everything I'm telling her, you can validate that for yourself. You're like, I swear this is for me, but it's really not for you. It's for her. That's called a postcard because you are actually getting a message alongside with Annika Bell at the same time. So that's why they call it a postcard, because you can validate the same information. So that message is also for you. So that's what a postcard is.
Which I just felt a deja vu because we've been in
Right
that
now,
spot. We've been in that spot, huh, Carly?
we have.
Yeah.
I actually, you know what happened there? Remember that person that was writing in chat during your thing, just freaking out saying, "This is for me. Why are you ignoring me?" He he ended up doing a stitch and basically threatening me because I didn't listen to him. And it was only for him, not you. And I ignored it. It's not a big deal. But that's why I think it's interesting. You're the one up here giving that information because we were there. So instead of getting upset, yes, Kitty, you remember that, right? So instead of getting upset, just take it for, if you can take it and you can validate it, take it. You're learning something. And this is what I always say about when we're doing these reads or what have you. If you can take something and these are learning, we're doing an energy exchange. And if you're in here and you're watching someone else get a reading, you're in here for a reason. You're learning something from that process. That person is getting a message from their loved one, but you can probably relate to something in there. And if you can, that's called a postcard. So the reading technically for Annika Bell, it was for her, but it was also for that other person. So instead of him getting upset and going all out, he should have just been respectful and took it as a postcard. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to explain a postcard at that time, but yes, a postcard is something to where if someone else is getting a reading and you can validate and take the information that's given, like you guys are almost like everything that she's saying yes to, you're saying yes to, and that is 100% a postcard, which means the message is meant for whoever can take it. Now, the actual spirit talking, however, is talking to the person who's receiving the reading. But here's the thing. Your guides and her guides could be working together, so that way you're all getting that message together. So, and that's called
And that's also why a lot of mediums will go for a very, very specific piece of information that is only
for
meant
that.
for the sitter.
Mm-hmm.
But I have questioned and thought about this postcard thing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, it simply boils down to how humans and humanity simply, if you think about a farm or a set of grandparents, or I go fishing with my grandpa, these memories, or I used to cook in the kitchen with my grandma, if you boil it down to humans and life and how it is or how it could have been or how you were taught or what was dropped down through the generations, there can be so many postcards and so many similarities for us humans
Yes.
that there's got to be some percentage rate that somebody is going to get a postcard.
Yeah. And yes, Sir Bedrick, it's also called piggybacking. Yep.
Yes, I've heard of it that way too.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
I mean, there's just not a place or a live or a room that I've been in where somebody has not gotten some kind of a postcard.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
Period.
orchestrated. It's orchestrated by the other side. There's no coincidence, and that's my true belief. There's no coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. So, say for example, during that time you were getting that reading, that other person who got upset obviously was meant to be there because they were there and they could
Right.
validate things, but instead let their emotions get to them instead of listening to the information and taking it. So yes, it was
I agree.
orchestrated. they were there for a reason, and everybody else that was in there learned from those things too.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, she said she totally was just covered in goosebumps. Jess Raimi.
yeah.
And that's why I told her, I said, you are probably, really picking up on postcards, or you're really sensing some similarities or something. And she's like, what's a postcard? And
Um,
it's really hard in chat to sit down and explain it. You have to continue on, and then it just gets jumbled and lost in chat. So
mhm.
that's why I figured I wanted to come up and just explain it all to her, or whoever.
Thought it was at the same cemetery as brother. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad
So,
I didn't see her ask that. So thank you for always having my back, girl, and helping people out in chat. I appreciate you.
of course.
I do appreciate you a lot. People hope more. Yeah. Yeah, I do think that I mean, postcards, although they're wonderful and there's a great message there for you, I do think that there are some people that still really want to hear from their loved one, like specifically. So, I mean, that's fine. You can you can watch readers and see their style and see who you feel comfortable with. I will tell you, I don't really go places to get readings because I do the reading, right? So I don't really go places to get readings. But there was one that was orchestrated and it was for me. And it was actually by John Edward, who is a very famous New York medium. He's also here on TikTok. A lot of people think he's fake. That man is not fake. I'm going to tell you. So my sister and her friends from work bought tickets to go see him in Spokane. And one of her friends was really nervous because she was very religious and she thought it was going against God's will. So last minute, she dropped out. I mean, literally 5 minutes before they were supposed to leave. And so my sister called me and said, "Hey, I have this spare ticket. Do you want to go?" I'm like, "John Edward, heck yeah, I want to go. I want to see how this guy works." My name was not on anything. He couldn't search me because my name was not on anything. We weren't talking about anything family wise while we were in line waiting for our seats. And when I did receive my reading from John Edward during that time, he was actually going over Q&As. He wasn't even doing readings, and he had to stop his Q&A to give the reading, and it was actually for me. Okay, so that's the only reading that I've ever got, and that man was spot on, very detailed. It was not that he gets a lot of crap, but that man is actually a true psychic, okay, and a medium, true. He didn't know me from Adam. None of my name was on any paperwork. He couldn't have Googled me real quick. So the information he gave, he was down. I mean, he gave so much detail. He brought my father through. He brought my twin daughter who had passed away through. He brought up that I was in the medical field and what I did. He brought up my mother and her escapades with a boyfriend, brought up my grandmother, brought up a passed away pet that I had, just a whole lot of information. He also brought up my nephew who had unfortunately been murdered, sorry, TikTok, sorry. So there was so much detail. That man was on spot. My one and only reading that I was not expecting. It was orchestrated for me to be there. I wasn't supposed to be there. 5 minutes I had to get my clothes on real quick, comb my hair, and jump in my sister's car. That's how much time I had to get ready for this thing. So it was all orchestrated by him, by my father. My father made this whole thing happen. And even when I was getting the reading, he likes to pass around the microphone for people that are in these things. And my sister was nudging me like, "Come on, hurry up." And it's so funny. It's like, because this is what I do, right? But it's different. I'm not used to being the one to get the messages, but I totally got very validating messages and I wasn't supposed to be there. So it is orchestrated by the other side. They make sure you are where you need to go. And if they are wanting to give you a message, they'll give you a message. And so just remember that we can't control how it happens. They're the ones that are in control because they know what we need to hear, when we need to hear it, and how we need to hear it. And so all we can do is just trust the process and allow those messages to come through. But yeah, there's no such thing as coincidence. I really feel that those things are 100% orchestrated on the other side.
Is that the only time you've been read?
Other than Tony, yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of sneaks in sometimes.
Yeah, he does. But yes,
Um,
that's the only time. I have had a
yeah.
tarot reading by a person on here named Topanga, and she was pretty good too. But no, those are the only things I've ever had.
Do you not want to be read?
I just don't seek it out just for the simple fact that, I mean, I can ask questions on my own. I don't necessarily need to do it. If I'm going through something pretty deep, I may consider it if it's a person I trust and know that is legit. But I mean, it's not that I don't. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't feel the need to do it because I talk to spirit every day.
Right. And see, not all mediums can talk to spirit about themselves or their past ones.
No, they won't always, like, my past ones do talk to me. They do come through on Spirit Box. They do come through on other things. But as far as an actual reading about things, no, I can't really read myself. I could read my relatives if I wanted to, but I know too much. It's not very validating if I know everything about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no point in it. I could do it, but there would be no point.
I still think you're very unique in a lot of ways. You stand out among a lot of them that I do see and hear and watch.
Mm. I don't know. All I can do. So honestly, I am the way I am because that's how my guides have pushed me to be. They're the ones who have pushed me, and I'm only on here doing all this because of them. Because I did not want to be on here. I really didn't. They pushed me, pushed me, pushed me. So
There's no other rooms like yours, honestly.
oh, in what regard? What do you mean? No other rooms like mine? Like in what regard?
I don't know, just the way you do things.
Oh, okay.
And so I've noticed a lot of people talk and mention how your spirits are happier. You don't ever seem to have any demonic or sad, or it's just calmer and more pleasant. And I mean, even your chat that comes in, yeah, you get like trolls, and I mean, even you handle the people that's alive well. Even
Yeah.
there's just
That's because that's the space that I feel we need to have. We need to have. So this is my thing, and I did tell my guys this. If I'm going to do this, I don't want it to be fear based. I don't want it to be Hollywood based. I want it to be actual truth facts. Okay. So if I'm coming in here, I don't. So and this is not saying other people do this. Some do, but this isn't a show. This is what it is. And so when I come in here, yeah, I have pretty little decorations and great equipment. And the reason I don't need the equipment, but the reason why I use the equipment is so that those who may be wondering, did I really talk to my relative? And I ask that relative, can you do this, this, and this? And they actually do, which they don't always do because, just like you or I, sometimes we feel like getting out of bed and turning on the TV, and sometimes we need that remote. So it just really depends, right? But in all reality, I want this to be a safe, open discussion. Even when I'm doing my readings, I want people to feel comfortable. These are topics that a lot of people look down upon. Religious people, Hollywood has made it into a farce. It's just all these crazy things. I want this to be a safe place that people can come. They can feel comfortable and safe in knowing that there's not that judgment. There are going to be things that I don't agree with, but I'm not going to call you out and say you're crazy because just because I don't agree with it, I'm not all knowing. There's people like when I do Estes, when I do Estes and I ask Great Bear to tap me out, people look at that like that girl's fake because that's weird, right? Because they don't understand my relationship with with my guides. They don't understand my relationship with spirit. So I understand why they would say those things. But in all reality, people with the abilities, they have different things, and there's different things that happen that they're just not going to understand. And I've come to terms with that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to change my style. Doesn't mean I'm going to change what I do. I'm going to use what works best. So yeah, I do appreciate you giving me that information. And I'm glad that you all are feeling comfortable and safe in here. And yes, ultimately, my spirits are happier because I take good darn care of them. I give them all they want. But not only that, I don't give the attention to the things, because there are times when there's things that come through that aren't so pleasant. But if you notice, I nip it in the bud real quick, saying, not doing it today. Sorry, this is the wrong house. Go somewhere else. For one, I just set my boundaries. And I think that that helps. And spirit knows that I'm not going to partake in the crazy.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate you.
And I appreciate
Well,
you. Thank you
we
so
all
much
do.
thank you so much for sharing that with me. Because there are times, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, am I gonna do this today? Should I do this today? And then when you guys share the things that you share, it does help me refocus and remember why my guides wanted me to do this in the first place. And I care about you guys. I really do. I feel, in my opinion, we're spiritual family, and I really care about each and every one of you. I really cherish everybody that comes in here, and I get to bond and form relationships with. And most importantly, I mean, without you guys, this wouldn't even be successful anyway. So that's the other thing, is I want to share my gratitude for you guys, that I appreciate that you guys do come in here and you be kind and you be understanding. And even when you don't agree with something, you don't tear a person down, because that's not what we're here to do. We're building everybody up. We don't have to agree, but we can agree to disagree. And you guys do that so beautifully in here. And you're always so compassionate and loving and caring. And it's not about the likes. It's not about the gifts. It's not about that. It's about the community, guys. That's the important thing. And that's what I'm really gratitude for. When I post those, those thank you for your support. Yes, I do appreciate the support, because you guys are the ones that are allowing me to buy the new equipment. You guys are the ones who are allowing this to be able to keep going, because I'm having to, lose sleep and do whatever I need to do, or to be able to support other people who need that support in their lives. So I do appreciate that, but I want you to know that I appreciate all the True Crew. And that means everyone in here, even the people who are not gifting. Each and every one of you are very important to me. And honestly, I think the spirits really do enjoy you guys, because they haven't told me no yet. I've always asked them before I start, are you okay with us communicating today with all my friends on TikTok? And I do say TikTok, and they will even say TikTok through the spirit box. They know what's going on. They're in charge. And they obviously really like y'all too, because they haven't told me no yet. So that's a good thing. And I feel like I was pushed in this because we need to have more people aware that this is not doom and gloom, that this is not evil and scary, that it really, you can come up, there's good that come out of these things. It's not always bad, guys. It's not. Does that mean that the bad doesn't exist? No. But up here, we're in control, guys. We get to decide what we're going to interact with. Okay? We have the power, guys. We do. So just remember. Oh, thank you for the prayers. Yeah, so, and that's the other thing, guys, is I'm a little everywhere with my beliefs a little bit. And that's partially because of how I've been raised. So I have Native American, which is very spiritual. And then I have Christianity, because my father was a minister, and I went in Christian academy most of my life. And so for me, I kind of am everywhere with my beliefs, but I do believe in prayer. I believe in power. And I don't care what you call them, Allah, God, the creator, the universe, all that. To me, it's all the same entity. It's a ball of light that has that is our creator. And we are all made in his image, not because I have green eyes, and Annika, I don't know what color your eyes are, but we're gonna for this purpose say blue. But it's not that. We're all a ball of light. Our souls are light. We are made in his image. So that is where that comes from. I do believe in those things. So That doesn't mean you have to believe in Christianity or whatever. I respect all religions and I love learning about them, because the more I learn about like Buddhism and Muslim, and then what's the other one that I find fascinating sometimes? Santa Rita sometimes is very interesting to look into. It's a little woo. I mean, I think when it comes to like voodoo and all those kind of things, we get a little whacked out. But if you actually do the research on them, it's so interesting. Yes, shamanism. I have gone on a shamanism journey before, and it was a drumming journey, and it was very, 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 very interesting. And after it was all done, they had you draw a picture of what you've seen, and I'm going to find that, and I'm going to share that one day because it's really interesting. Hey, Tony, welcome in. You're a Buddhist now, but it's not a religion. Right. And a lot of these things that we consider religion really isn't religion, right? It's a philosophy. It's a belief. It's a faith system. It's, I don't know. To me, religions just cause war. I don't think along the religion line. For me, I think that if we put a little piece of everything, we would gain a bigger understanding. And we're never going to know what is. So even me, I talk to spirits every day. They tell me every day certain things, and I believe what they're telling me, but I'm not going to know everything until my day comes that I get to be where they're at either. So there's that. You're correct. Yeah. Hi. And hello, Raven. How are you, darling? Hey, give her a follow, y'all. I can't tag you. She has some good effects. I love her posts. Your wife is a shaman journey right now also. Yes, it's very interesting. I went through a class for shamanic journeying and in drumming, and it was really, really interesting. And you know what animal I seen that greeted me when I first went on my journey, which happens to be something, it's not even an animal. It's something I'm very frightened of. Out of all things, it was a spider. Well, if you look into it, there's meanings to what these certain animals, what they represent. And the one thing that I'm totally terrified with is the thing that greeted me in the beginning of my journey. And I'm just like, oh yeah, you would. See, this is me. You know what, Tony? We're just kind of talking about whatever comes up. We just got done talking about postcards and piggybacking and readings. We're talking about belief systems and no coincidences, and how spirit organizes and orchestrates how people get their readings. Insects, especially spiders. Yeah, it's interesting. But if you guys, I know that there's a lady in North Carolina. That's who I took the class through. But shamanic journeys with drumming. Very interesting. It is really enlightening. I had an amazing experience. Belongs in an asylum, yeah. You see the spirits watching your lives behind the screen. Yeah, they're probably up here watching, guys, to be honest. They are. I do feel one here right at the moment. And that's what's ever since I've been like being in front of the camera and sitting back here for this being my backdrop, I can actually feel them up here. I do have cat balls on. If they want to show us that they're here, they can touch them if they want. It's up to them. They've really not really, it's so funny, even though I turn that on, and I do want to check and see if it's working. Hang on. See, it takes a lot of bumping to get them to work. That one's on. See, this is why, and I don't put my speaker on here, but if I was, it wouldn't make a difference, guys. See this? And that one's working too. So if the spirit wants to say, hey, I'm here listening and I approve this message, feel free to click on that. Sorry, I'm scrolling up. You're going to PA this year. That would be good, Taz. So the Native American man right here is on this side. So it might be him checking it out. Probably making sure that I'm not leading anybody astray. Ooh, an AI portrait. Do you have chat? What is it? Chat GPT or whatever it is? Chat. I don't remember what it's called. Is that what you do it with? Because I started using that the other day. In fact, that's how these stickers for the subscribers. I kind of got. I used a couple of them for the stickers, not all of them, but some. So the baby, I did lose a couple infants. So I'm not sure which one that might be, but that would not surprise me that there's a baby touching my hair. Oh, good, Taz. I'm glad you found somebody. Pardon me. Somebody to join you. You're fading fast. Yeah, girls, late where you are. Night. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. Love you. Have a good sleep. Hey, Gary, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, hang on. Tony wants to come up here. Oh, okay, Brooke. Yeah.
Well, hello. How's everybody?
Hey, Tony. We're doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. There's no birds yet. Wait a minute. Yep, there's no birds yet. So it's still.
I thought that
not
was
early.
kind of relaxing when you came up last time. I liked it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Everybody's telling you
Hey,
hi.
Sandra. Pat, I'm sorry. I did eat
Whoa,
three
whoa,
of your
whoa.
third cousins today.
Tony.
Yeah, I know who's behind you. I don't know if you saw it in the chat.
No, I didn't. Who is it?
Let's see.
Whoever it is got excited you were here.
Hey, homie, if that's you, can you do that again? Maybe not.
Usually on Sundays they don't even touch those things, so I'm actually shocked that even went off. But it doesn't surprise me. It's when you came up.
Well, I know. It surprises me every time, actually.
It doesn't me because they like you a lot, so it doesn't surprise me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Terry. That sucks.
Terry,
hey, Pat, I do want
to me sometimes too. It like glitches out for some reason in other lives, not mine, but other lives.
Hey, Harley. I hope you're doing well, brother. I thought about you today because when I was out in my car on a drive this afternoon, I saw a big ape hanger chopper motorcycle. And I thought about Harley today. It was like one of the old like 70s. It was like the sparkle green tank on it, big ape hanger handlebars with a big banana rail, like this the big they call it, I don't know if I can say the SISSY bars on the back, the high ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the sissy bars. I'll say it.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Pat, I do want to apologize. I ate 3 of your third cousins today because I needed potassium. Mr. Banana Man. So how are you today, Carly? You good?
I'm good if this darn cough would leave me alone. It's a little better though. I don't think I'm coughing as much.
No, that's good. Oh, Taro, or Brooke. So Pat does he did like this whole banana video of like his mom and dad bananas or whatever. And so every time I see Pat, I tell him I eat his cousins because I eat a lot of bananas.
Well, we had them all wondering what the heck that meant. That's
exactly. I thought they were all gonna go like, "Hello, Clarice." Like that's
right.
what it is. What me to say? Tony is the enemy. I'm not the enemy.
Wait a minute. Pat's got a joke in here. What is it? What do bananas have to do to stay safe?
Peel out.
Is this the answer, Pat? Storm the Tony?
Storm the Tony.
It's funny. It's funny.
She was concerned for a second.
Yeah, I'm not Hannibal Lecter. Not at all.
Banana bowl lecter. Banana bowl lecter.
Banana Lecter. Jeez.
He said to stay safe from Tony.
Try to stay safe from. He's afraid of you now, Tony. He thinks you're gonna eat him.
Okay, new subject.
Good night, Pat.
Go to bed, Pat. Sleep well.
Jesus, maybe I should drive down now. I should just go tonight on that one. Oh,
Oh, what did Brooke say? She said I was afraid to ask for a split second. Split second. Oh my god.
Jess, am I a light worker? I don't know how to answer that, Carly. How would I answer that?
Yeah,
Jess
you're
asked if I was a light worker.
You are. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. I'll explain it to you too.
Yeah.
Instead of answering just
Yeah, Jess, I'm very new at my abilities, but Carly is mentoring me and helping me along the way. So whatever she says is correct.
so you're bringing you're making everybody heal, and you're allowing them to feel better than when they came. When you're giving them readings, you are very much a light worker because you work with your spirit guides.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But don't listen to her when she says I'm going to eat Pat, because I'm not going to do that, because that would not be working in the light.
No, definitely would not. Although banana ice cream sounds really good right now. Just saying.
Oh, really, Jess? You feel like I pulled in a lot of energy? Oh,
Well, clearly the cat balls go off, and I made stickers right for all the subscribers, and one of those suggestions was to put a spirit asking where's Tony, because they do it all the time with the box.
that's hilarious.
Oh, I was laughing.
You know what? Now you said like banana ice cream sounds good. A banana split sounds good, actually.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly, Brooke. Exactly. He
Wow,
is.
Brooke, thank you so much.
That's right. He's multifaceted. He's a chef. He's a psychic medium empath. He's a music
I'm just
connoisseur. He's also
I'm just a normal dude in the world. I put my pants on the same as everybody else. Two legs at a time.
You have a lot of talent, though. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I know. But you know I don't take compliments well.
I know, but I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to say that for them, and then I'm going to say thank you for telling Tony that he needed to hear that today. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Brooke. Appreciate you.
You can't work in the kitchen anymore. Oh no, why? Yep, he is a humble person. He's a good person.
I try to be humble. That's the only way to live, because once you become arrogant, I feel like you get caught up in drama. You get caught up in not doing it for the right reasons. You get caught up in not being authentic and vulnerable and allowing yourself to open up to it. So you have to be humble around it.
Yeah, ego is not your friend in these situations.
Well, and just life in general too, right? Like, it's just not your friend.
No, it's human nature to have ego, but the best you can like stray from it, the better you are.
You know, my face is getting red. Maybe.
Pat, listen, you came back.
You know, I think that was an interesting comment you just made, like laying the ego down completely. But I think everybody should have like some ego to a point, because I think it. You know, when I play baseball in the kitchen, I think there's a fine line between confidence and cockiness or ego.
Yeah, but ego isn't confidence. That's different.
But don't you feel like you should have a little bit of ego, because it does like encourage the confidence if it's done in the right way. Not over like ego, like not an ego like you're putting people down, but like this. I don't know. I'm just asking.
I think like, are you meaning like gaining your confidence by allowing that, you know, by allowing yourself to give yourself good compliments and gain that confidence? Saying I did that, build yourself up type of thing. Is that what you're meaning? I mean, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So I
Okay.
would say when I say let that ego down, I don't mean the entirety of the ego. I'm talking about the part of the ego that creates you to be a little too overly confident in the fact that you're harming others. You are all about yourself and you forget why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. That one.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
did you?
Absolutely. Because I think like that ego too. Like when the I think if you have too much ego, your mind becomes closed,
Right.
and you feel like you know everything and everybody else is wrong. So like I see what you're saying. Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, Pat.
Okay, here's my idea. I'm going to make a TikTok. Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to have one of my friends act like a shrink, and I'm going to be wearing the banana
Wait a minute.
outfit.
Was that
Okay?
was that you said shrink? Was that a short joke because my first three letters are little? Are you calling me short, Pat?
You know, that might be it. But no, I got better than that. So I'm going to have my friend be the shrink, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to be sitting there with the banana outfit on. And we're
Mhm.
going to talk about how I feel about Tony eating my brothers and sisters alive.
As long as you allow me to like my face to pop up and go, "Hello, Clarice."
I'd love that. I'd love that. You'd make a fine, hannibal Lecter. It'd be great. Or
I mean, my
banana
name,
Lecter. I thought of that
Banana
before
Lecter.
you did.
Yeah. But you know what's funny is like my real name's Anthony, so like I could be like an Anthony Hopkins in that moment, kind of
See?
way, right?
I love it. I thought it was so funny. I was like, I totally got to do that one with the banana outfit. You always talk about that, and I just got to do it. It's
So,
hilarious.
funny thing is, so Carly, like in my office upstairs, I have 6 lights that are inset in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So like, or like I don't know if they're called can lights, right? I think they're
Yeah.
can lights is what they're called. And I'll turn the lights on in my office, and all of them will go off. And tonight, because we were there working on new cocktails and stuff for the menu, and I was doing ordering and doing some office work, and I was sitting up there and I had the lights on, and all of them went off,
Oh my gosh, all of them?
all of them.
Dang.
And I said, Leo, because you know Leo, right?
Right.
I said, Leo, is that you? And the light came on, and I had like a 15-minute interaction of him turning on one particular light and turning it off and answering questions. It was pretty intense.
Yeah. I hate to break it to you, but they drained my phone. We're not doing so well, and it's even plugged in.
Sheesh.
And I
Well,
say
that's
they
fun.
drained, I meant like us. I don't know why. This did this last live actually, so it might be my phone tripping out.
It could be, but I don't think so.
Well, they didn't do anything other than a cat ball, but they have been here listening.
Uh huh.
People have
Mhm.
seen them, so it's saying it's at 1%. But what's weird about it is it's not. Oh, there it went.
Okay, it's the phone.
Yep,
Oh,
it's the phone. All right.
there,
Well, hey, good night,
there she
everybody.
goes. Yeah. Do 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 do.
Yep. We're not gonna go like this. We're not gonna go do 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 do.
Yeah, let's do the
Yeah.
Jeopardy theme.
No,
Yep.
I've known people to be in chat and just keep going for X amount of time.
They will. They will
Well,
because
she comes back on.
once the creator like drops out, it will stay alive for like 5 minutes. But they will
Well,
because
she comes back on.
once the creator like drops out, it will stay alive for like 5 minutes. But
I'll figure it out.
She's not
yeah.
gonna not be live for like forever. Like, good night,
Okay,
everybody.
Julie's back. Welcome back, Julie. And the reason why I have this haircut is because I'm losing it on top, so I have to even it out.
I just got a new haircut too, but I have the Dominican baseball flow.
I just couldn't. I couldn't. I mean, it's all going away on top, so I had to even it out because,
Mhm.
Good night,
yeah,
Harley.
I'm losing my hair. Night,
Losing your
buddy.
hair.
Always good to see you, Harley.
Yeah. So Chet, I'm gonna drop down, and if she comes back on, I'll jump back up. But
Okay.
thank you guys for all the like compliments and words of confirmation. I appreciate everybody.
Dude,
And
we
Pat,
love you, man.
I'll try not to eat any of your cousins tomorrow.
I don't know. I don't trust you anymore with your banana eating ways, sir.
Wait a minute. Are plantains considered
Yeah,
your
same
like
thing.
distant cousin? Oh shit. Then the plantain chips I'm getting ready to go eat.
I don't know. I don't know if they're like
Julie,
a
her phone
uncle's
died.
brother or something, but they're in the family somehow. They're probably the drunk uncle.
Well, you know, I could say this. You know, it's
Hey,
I can't say it.
watch your
You know
mouth
what?
there, Missy.
Do you,
You're talking
Pat?
about my people. Hmm?
Hey, Pat. You know what's
Yeah.
worse than ants in your pants?
What's that? Bananas
Uncles.
in your
I'm leaving.
pajamas?
No, uncles. But I'm leaving on that comment.
I don't want to know.
Tony, I'll let Carly know.
Oh God.
Love you guys. I'm dropping down. I got to
Love
put
you too,
myself on a
man. You're
self-imposed
awesome.
timeout. Peace out.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just me and you now.
Yeah, have you ever heard of the particles in a spray can or whatever that you can
Yeah.
sprinkle on your head?
Uh-huh.
You should go try some.
Actually, I got this stuff that I got for $4 over at my work, and it's doing pretty good. It's starting to grow some. So I feel pretty good about that.
Bananas in pajamas, Julie said.
I need to get some banana pajamas. That'd be perfect. I'd love that. Then Julie could be accurate. I'll get some banana pajamas. That sounds
Oh,
great.
brother.
Yeah, I got my bananas sitting over there right now. Hey, I'm not as stressed as I was yesterday. No, I wear a cowboy hat all the time. That might take it away too.
Tara Lumine, are you saying goodnight?
Have a great one. I was about to go to bed too, but I had to talk about my new TikTok that I'm gonna do. I'm totally gonna do that. That sounds awesome. It'll be an inside joke.
All right. Good night, Tara Lumine.
Have a good one. We love you. Absolutely glad to see you. Glad to see everybody. Oh wait, hold on a minute. I think she sent the message.
To you?
No, it was on the mod thing.
Which I don't have. Pat will go check it. Don't encourage him now, Julie.
We're on a lost cause, y'all.
Why? Did she say goodnight?
Basically, she said that it won't let her go on another device and without ending.